Hello and welcome to this brew day. Today I am brewing an imperial stout. Got a little bit of a twist on it. It is I'm going to try to replicate like a type of barrel-aged stout. But the main recipe I actually took off of the Apartment Brewer. So I'll leave a link to his channel. You can go check him out. This is pretty much his recipe for the stout. Little bit of differences here and there, but so I got 16 pounds of Maris Otter. Got 1.5 pounds of black barley. I think actually my brew shop gave me black patent. I hope it's the same thing. So that's quite a bit of that. I have 1 pound of Crystal 120. 12 ounces of Special B, 12 ounces of chocolate malt, and 8 ounces of Caramunic 1. I also added 1 pound of light brown sugar. The estimated original gravity should be a 1.103. That is after the boil. Hopefully this will turn out to be in the 10% range, shooting for 10% exact. Hops that will be going in are Northern Brewer and EKG, or East Kent Golding. So the variants of the hops, throw one in here shortly. I'm trying to bring that up to a boil outside. I should be watching it, but it was far enough away from boiling that it should be okay. I do have a sample right here. I've already gone through, mashed, and everything like that. So just kind of cutting to the mid-range this brew day, but the first hop additions at 60 minutes. It's with the Northern Brewer. You get 1.25 ounces of that going in, and then at 30 minutes left of boil, 0.75 Northern Brewer. At 15 minutes, 0.5 ounces Northern Brewer and 0.75 ounces of East Kent Goldings. And then at 5 minutes left to boil, 0.75 ounces of the East Kent Goldings. So that's all the hops, 4 ounces of hops total. Bitterness level, and this should be around 63 or so. So hoping it's kind of a little bit on the sweeter side. What I plan on doing after, I'm going to let it age for a little bit, but let it go. Once it goes into secondary, I'm going to rack it over into secondary. I have this oak spiral. So this is American Oak Char number 3. It's kind of a dark char, but I'm going to do a tincture with that. So what I'll probably do, I'm thinking maybe just a half a cup of this smoked maple Knob Creek to go on top of that. This is 90 proof, 45% ABV. But I'll let that sit for 2 to 3 weeks or so, add it into secondary, and hopefully give it some slight bourbon and barrel-aged type flavors with this stout. Now, if this comes out like the Apartment Brewers, this was his, what did he call it? Something like Black Heart, something like that. But anyways, like I said, check out his channel. You can see how he brewed his, and get his recipe also right at the bottom. But where was I going with this? Anyways, his. Cause I did get a bottle, the one that he brewed, and it was a very nice fudgy stout. So that's what I'm hoping for with this. I think it will go well with the bourbon and stuff. I'm going to go check on that boil, though. Okay, so the boil is doing good. It's not quite up to boiling temp yet, so I think I have a few more minutes here before I really have to start to worry. But I do want to get a pre-boil gravity reading just to see where this is landing. So what I'm looking for, I'm just going into my unit tools. Not my unit tools, my tools. I'm going to go to the hydrometer. What I'm going to do is put in the temperature of my reading. This is what the the wort's looking like. It's a nice, dark, pretty much jet black stout. So right now this is around 100 and keeps climbing. So a little stir here. So 141.4. Take my hydrometer, so it's going to read lower, but it will adjust to the temperature. So let me type in 141.4 for the temp. The gravity that this one is reading at. It's in the 1050 range. 1052, 1054. Okay, so the corrected gravity is 1070. Now this is pre-boil. Let's see what the recipe was calling for. Post-mash gravity or pre-gravity was supposed to be at 1077, so just a little bit off, but not bad. I can just boil this for a short time longer. I do have just a smidgen over of the volume, so I mean very, very close. It's like in the 1070, I mean the 7.75 gallon range, so I was shooting for 7.71, so just a little bit over. But I can just boil it for a little bit longer before I actually, which I'll probably do anyways because I have to get through the hop break and all that, before I throw the first hop addition in and start the 60-minute timer. But pretty damn close anyways, so this should still be a very large imperial stout. Alright, so this is what it's looking like right now. Like I said, it's not quite up to boiling. It's right at about 200 degrees right now. But yeah, it looks like a nice chocolatey brew. It's very robust, roasty in the aromas. There's no hop additions in here yet. But yeah, I did already add the brown sugar. I made sure that that was stirred in nice so it didn't burn on the bottom. Yeah, it smells like a big, robust stout right now. Alrighty, we'll be back when we do the dropping of the hop. Right, so I just hit the timer to run. It's time to drop in the first hops. These are the Northern Brewer. I said 1.25 ounces going in. Got a decent little boil going there. I can turn it up, turn it down a little bit, which, you know, I'll have to do that stuff because it's going to build up a little bit, but stir this around. Not using a hop basket for this one because there's only 4 ounces of hops, so it should be okay without the hop basket. Yeah, it gives it a nice zesty floral type smell with the hops there that just went in. Northern Brewer, they're 10.1 alpha as well, so alright, it's like making chocolate. Alright, going in for the second hop drop. This is 0.75 ounces of the Northern Brewer. 30 minutes into the boil. So this is kind of like a flavoring addition. Alright. I gotta go get my hops ready for the next one at 15 minutes. Alright, putting the 15-minute hop drop in. This is 0.75 ounces of EKG. My alpha on that was 5.5, and also 0.5 ounces of the Northern Brewer. Alright, I'm going to get this stirred up. As you can see, the volume drops down. I mean, it's foaming up a bit because of the hops and stuff, but we're down to under 7 gallons right now. So that's how the when you start off at a certain gravity and you boil it off, it condenses it down. That's how your gravity rises up. See, as I stir it, you can kind of see it's down below. Well, you can't see because it's all smoky, steamy. But yeah, it's down below the 7-gallon mark. Alright, the last hop drop about to go in. So the 5-minute edition, this is mostly for aroma. and that is 0.75 ounces of the EKG. I'm going to go ahead and stir this up and go grab my wort chiller, which is in sanitizer right now. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in here so I can get other things sanitized I need sanitized. Alright, so we came to the end of the boil. I just killed the heat. Just going to turn the hose on. It's attached to the wort chiller, so turn this on. Got the other the runoff going into that bucket over there, so it's going to be some nice hot water going in there to start. I will use that water for cleaning some stuff later on as well. So, wort chiller's in. It is smelling nice. It's got a bit of a chocolate note coming off of it, which is good because I was hoping for that fudginess, like I said. Now we just wait for the temperature to drop here, which it won't drop super fast because we are like 40, I don't know, 46 degrees out today, so a little bit warmer than my last brew day. But alright, so I'm going to run over the numbers. The noise you might hear in the back is just running it into the fermenting container, which is my 6.5 gallon glass carboy. Should be aerating it enough. I definitely think I have the volume that I need. Something I noticed afterwards, post-measured gravity of which was supposed to be the 1077, apparently was before adding the brown sugar. I had already added the brown sugar when I took my gravity and got the post-measured gravity of 1070. Adding the brown sugar, if I had the correct post-mash gravity, should have been an estimated pre-boil gravity of 1084. So I was definitely way low on that. If I had realized that, I probably would have added more brown sugar or something. Something to bump up the ABV a bit. So I think just by those numbers, we can all tell this is not going to be the 10% that it should be, if it ferments the way it should. What I am using for the yeast is going to be the BuMpY-isms 1056, which is the American Ale 1. So I got 2 packets of that. So it should, ferment fairly well. The measured estimated original gravity was supposed to be that 11.03. Came out to a 1090. So if it hits the final estimated gravity of about a 1029, this beer will be only 8.2% ABV, which still lands it in the imperial range, but that's way low. In order for this to get to the 10%, this has to have a final gravity of 1016, which it might get around there. I could see it definitely hitting around 1018, so I think it may have a chance of getting into the 9% range anyways, maybe the higher 9% range, which I'll be happy with if we can at least get that high. I don't want it to be only an 8.2, but we'll see. Definitely some efficiency problems here. That's one of the things too, is brewing bigger beers. Sometimes you need to add more because your efficiency will drop. So there's that. But we'll just see where this all goes to. And I'll just show you the tincture I'm going to make after this. But yeah, this was the hydrometer and the gravity that I have now, 1090. Alright, so the yeast is pitched. I have it on a blow-off tube here for the first portion of the fermentation. Actually, it just bubbled. But anyways, this one does have a good volume to it, so I am expecting
Plus, it's a fairly large beer, even if it's under what I was shooting for. I am expecting this thing to have a high Krausen and that will blow out. So, yeah, I have it with a blow-off tube. I am going to wrap it in a towel just to keep it out of light mostly. Temperature in here is around 68 degrees, so that will be good for that.
All right, and making the tincture to help this resemble that it was barrel aged in a bourbon barrel. This would be like a bourbon barrel with maple in it. So it's very, very simple to do a tincture. All you're doing is soaking something in a hard alcohol for a period of time to let it pull out the flavors and aromas of whatever it is that you are making the tincture with. So here we have the American Oak Char number 3. It says pretty dark. It smells a little bit like wood. There's really not much aroma just coming off of this, but it is leaving chars on my fingers. So, boom. Just going to throw it in this container here. I'm going to measure out half a cup or so. I think a half cup should be good. This is the Knob Creek Smoked Maple Bourbon. It is 90 proof, so 45% alcohol. And I have had a few glasses of this. It is very maple forward. So I'm just hoping that will kind of come through nicely for finishing touch for this imperial stout. Said I do hope that it at least gets up into the 9% range there, but odds are against me at this point. So half a cup. I will land it right there. I'm going to do a smidgen more. So I'm going to do another fourth of a cup. So 0.75 of a full cup of the Knob Creek bourbon. Let that soak in there. It's going to soak for a couple weeks at least. I'm going to let this ferment as much as it can on its own before racking it over to secondary, which it will continue to go for another couple of weeks. I may even let this one go for about 3 weeks before racking it over, just hoping that it will drop down as low as possible to get that ABV up. All right, well, I just want to say thank you all for watching this Brewday. Numbers once again were quite off, but we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out in the end. I think I'll tap the losing time with friends. Maybe tomorrow it will be on the keg for the 4th day at that point, so it should have a little bit of carbonation anyways, and just see kind of where the flavor notes are on that. But yeah, thank you all for watching this. Check out the Apartment Brewer. This was his recipe. It was done to a smaller batch. I just kind of took it and amped it up a little bit with a few things to match my batch, and looking for a nice 10% ABV, which probably won't happen. But like I said, something to always remember. I always forget. But when you have an efficiency level that's pretty much set for your regular standards, beers, if you're going up to like 7% or so in ABV, well, once you start climbing up there even higher, your efficiency level can drop. So just take that into consideration when building a recipe. That's going to be a large one because you may have to make some adjustments, more malt or more adjuncts that would increase the ABV, like brown sugar, which I did use to help boost it, but not enough. Anyways, thank you all.